We're in the Snowy Mountains and have turned off Long Plain Road to check out a pretty little spot I last came to 4 years ago with Bill. There's a few little steepish declines around these parts. I'm just gonna pop my Ford Ranger into neutral, select low range, and then off I go again. And what that tends to do is just use the engine to brake the vehicle down the hill. It really does just take the pressure off your brakes, makes it a little bit easier on your four-wheel drive, and particularly relevant when you've got a trailer on the back. This track in here, it really is a piece of cake, and you probably could get in here without burning your brakes out down a hill, but hey, we try and do it to be a little bit nicer to our four-wheel drives and make our brakes last that little bit longer. It's springtime and there are mums with joeys hopping around. This is a fascinating landscape, jutting out of the earth, cast limestone cliffs and deep gorges. Beneath us is the largest underground spring in Eastern Australia. I've been here a few times, but Blue Waterholes is absolutely pumping right now, and that water flow that's coming through here from those winter rains is actually making it not quite as blue as you would normally see. You see, it becomes blue, that water, because of the mineral content, but when that mineral content gets flushed out by all that water, well, that just changes the colour a wee bit. And another really cool thing about this area is that it is actually spring fed, and particularly after the rains they've had, you can even see fresh springs popping out of the side of the mountain. Cutting across parts of the ranges are power line easements. Their construction has opened up the country as well as delivering clean, snowy hydro energy to millions. 16 large dams were built during the construction of the Snowy hydroelectric scheme. And our next stop, Adaminaby, the entire town was shifted to make way for one of the newly created lakes. Cattle and sheep farmer Bill Russell was in his early 20s when the waters began to rise. Oh, cheers, Bill.
Cheers. What's your name?
I'm Pat.
I was going to forget your name.
Bill's not the first to forget my name. But he does remember when his town went underwater. And what was the feeling like in the community then at the time? Was there excitement with all this development, or?
Some places there was and some there wasn't, a bit of everything. Had a meeting in the old town and they were talking about this, get so much this, so much that, and the whole fellow piped up. He said, now all this country you're giving away, when are you going to pay for it?
Residents were offered either cash, a brand new house, or the option to move their old home to the new town. 103 houses, including Bill's, were shifted 9 kilometres to where Adaminaby sits today. And the new Adaminaby is a gateway to all kinds of winter and summer activities, especially for those of us in four-wheel drives. Gee, there are some gorgeous hidden little campsites around the Snowies, and we have one coming up just ahead, although I've got to get through this little muddy track before I make it. Sailing on through. It's a superb clearing among the gums. We drop the camper trailer and light an afternoon fire. One of the real perks of this gig is that I get to play with lots of different products, and this one is one of them. Dean from Easy Trails said to me, Pat, I need you to road test the Lincoln LX Mark III, and who was I to say no? It's a pretty cool bit of kit. It, I guess, is something that I think is really good for a family, because you step inside there and it just opens right out. This is called, I guess, a double fold camper trailer. She folds out the back and creates this giant king size bed. Then she folds out the front, creates a double bed. And in the middle, there's a full lounge area. So on top of that, they've got loads of different awnings and things that you can attach to give you even more space. But it is really, really well spec'd. A lot of the gear on this comes standard. Tellies, hot water systems, a kitchen like this. Like, it really is a good setup. And in this model, they've also got a brand new chassis that is properly off-road certified. So she's not gonna fall apart on you. All those features are great, but the real thing that's gonna really make this attractive to people is over here. You have a rather giant hot water shower. And if that doesn't put a smile on everyone's face at the end of a grimy day off-road, I don't know what will. Actually, I'd take that back. Dinner tonight is also a real crowd pleaser. This is gonna be a cracking meal, and I like to call it my cheesy bacon bomb explosion. So, it is pretty simple. We're gonna kick off with 1.5 kilos of mince, and in this, we're sort of making a giant rissole, I suppose. So I'm gonna pop in some breadcrumbs. I'm gonna pop in some caramelized onions in there for a little bit of sweetness. And I'm gonna put in 3 eggs to help bind this all together. Add some Worcestershire sauce, as much as you like, smoked paprika, don't be shy, and some Tabasco sauce. And here comes the fun bit, the dirty bit, and that is kneading this all together into a giant ball. Let's get into it. I give it a really good mix and then mix it some more. I have made a little bit of a hole in the middle of my mince mix. Now I'm going to drop the cheese in. You can use kind of whatever cheese you like. I've gone for a bit of a Mexican mix, and then we want to keep that in the middle because that will be our explosion a little bit later on. And we want to carefully fold that mince back on itself. The next step is to place it on our bacon. Now, what we've done here is we've actually done a bit of a thatch pattern with our bacon. So it's a bit of a basket weave kind of a thing. And we're simply gonna pop our mince mix on top. On we go. Oh dear, look at this. This is illegal, this stuff. It really should be declared. Here's the tricky part. And there we go. Be sure the campfire is burning well and shovel coals all around and over the lid of the camp oven. This should take a couple of hours. But thanks to the magic of TV, it's ready in a jiffy. That is looking pretty damn good to me. It's steaming hot, and I reckon that cheese bomb inside is primed to explode. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, that's awesome. The full recipe for my cheesy bacon bomb explosion is in the latest edition of Pat Callinan's 4x4 Adventures magazine. Next, a rookie mistake. And the perfect drive if you're just finding your 4x4 legs. We find a magic spot.
Hopefully we can find a little spot down here and get a fly out.
And give our rigs a rush of blood. And make sure you check out the Mr. 4x4 app at mr4x4.com.au.